Daddy, Mommy, tell me a story. Did you ever ask this question when you were little? Has anyone else ever asked you this question? Why is it that stories are so alluring, so attractive? Why is it that we simply can't live without them? Hi, I'm Steve Washer with brainyvideo.com and creator of the Video Marketer's Way and Audience Builder's Blueprint. Archaeologists like to talk about the cavemen sitting around telling each other stories of the hunt. And they tell us that from this activity, language was born, simply because we needed better ways of communicating how things went than, saying, well, if this is so, then the question still remains, why are stories so powerful? And how can you use them to sell more of your products and services once you know the answer? Well, first a story. Once upon a time, there was a bouncy baby girl named Jessie, who was the pride and joy of her parents. Her mother used to plop toys down in front of her to play with. But this little girl was so rambunctious, she just sort of kicked the toys around instead of picking them up and trying to eat them like everyone else her age. But her mother just smiled and did not think this was strange at all. When Jessie got a little older, she started taking ballet. But like many other little girls, she was very shy when it came to performing in public. In fact, she even asked that she be put in the back line. But the teacher told her there was no back line to dance in. So she had to screw up her courage and, go out on stage just like all the other little girls. And as you might expect, she got lots of applause and cheering, and so she was never shy about performing on stage again. And her mother just smiled and did not think that was strange at all. When Jessie got a little older, still, she started taking Taekwondo and even earned a black belt. But in all other ways, she was just like most girls her age. She enjoyed going to parties, putting in her contacts, typing up her homework, driving to school, studying scuba. Yes, she was just like all the other little girls, except for one thing. Jessica Cox was born with no arms. And if her mother thought that was strange, she seems to have kept it to herself. Now, no one knows why Jessie has no arms. In 28 years, the doctors have never been able to give her a reason. In essence, a story as to why she is the way she is. But Jessie didn't care about waiting for an answer. She was too busy living. Recently, she became the only unarmed person in history to earn a pilot's license. And she did it in less time than many would-be pilots who have 2 or more arms. 2 arms. So Jessie, it seems, was born not only without arms, but also without another important ability. She simply can't tell herself stories that hold her back, that define her as handicapped, or that help her to justify not being able to do anything she might want to do. So you see, stories have the singular ability to inspire us to acts of outrageous achievement. The stories we tell ourselves and others not only define us, but determine our destiny and the destiny of others. So let's bring this back down to earth just for a moment. We started this video by talking about how you could use stories to help sell your products or services. The reason you can do this is that stories bypass the conscious mind and its many objections and natural defenses that keep out any evidence that would argue against inertia and for change. Stories give your subconscious mind direct access to the emotional arguments that actually allow you to make decisions, both big and small, about what you will do with your life, whether or not to buy a video game, a bottle of vitamins, or learn to fly a plane. What are the stories you tell yourself about what you can do with video marketing? Do you tell yourself the, I need to wait until a few more things fall into place story? Or maybe it's the, I don't have the equipment story? Or maybe it's just the old standby, I have a face made for radio story. What this means, of course, is that you have the ability right now, right this minute, to tell yourself any story you want and to make it come true. So why not tell yourself some more useful stories? Stories like, nothing can stop me except me. Or it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be out there and I can tweak as I go. Or maybe just, Jesse did it, why can't I? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have a program launching shortly that will help you with exactly this challenge. It's called SellOnSite, the complete video sales letter course. And to let everybody know about it, I've put together a really cool freebie from the course that gives you the exact video sales letter scripting formula that you can use for any of your sales videos, and an in-depth look on how to understand and structure your calls to action, all in one easy-to-read ebook. And you can pick yours up for free at the link below. For telling better stories, I'm Steve Washer with BrainyVideo.com.